let's see what will be the schedule for next 5 days. This will be the schedule for next 5 days, and this is what we are going to discuss today itself. Right, apart from this schedule, apart from this 1 to 2 hour or 3 hours of schedule, if you would find out some difficulties, I can be available on some of the other platforms also. You can directly discuss apart from this schedule also, right? If you'll be feeling like whether you are developing some projects, some libraries are not installing, some platforms are not installing, and we'll be going as practical as possible. I'll just try to discuss the small part of the topic in technical ways, and we'll be directly jumping into the practical part of implementations. And I'm sure I'm giving you the promise that after the end of this session, you'll be able to understand this ML, deep learning, and algorithms, couple of algorithms, not one even, and the data science part, data mining, data visualization, data manipulation, right, which is a part of data science itself, right? And a couple of other topics, like you have to handle different types of data also, where numerical data, numeric types of data, or alphanumeric data where text can be coming. Suppose we are talking about recommendation systems, right? We're talking about chatbots, we are talking about the video analytics, right? Maybe data analytics for visualizations, right? So a couple of such topics will be the full clarity in your mind in next 5 days. Also, we'll be developing 2 to 3 different types of projects during the session. And apart from projects, we'll be handling at least 20 to 30 different type of programs. I'm giving you the promise of the 100% hands-on practical approach of taking this journey of 5 days in such a way that you'll be at least developing 20 to 25 practical codes, and the programming language that will be picking up for writing those codes or writing those logics, because coding is related to logic, and programming can be helping us to develop or write those logics basically in our words, in our C's, right? So it could be Python, it could be R language, it could be MATLAB, it could be the other languages also, like JavaScript is quite helpful nowadays for web developers to deal with machine learning. So I'll be taking you the journey which particular language should be picked up, why we are picking this language, other language if you want to pick up, so what could be the requirements, right? And when you should pick up those languages. Like R is quite helpful for data analytics, right? For machine learning also, but it's not good for AI, right? So we'll be going through with the journey. So this will be the schedule, and we'll be discussing these few topics today, right? So where with these few topics, you'll be having the clarity among the languages, which particular language we are going to pick, and why should we be picking that particular language. What do you mean by machine learning, big data, and the need of ML in kind of domains do we have further in near future. Running machine learning on different platforms, the most popular platforms that you would be having further would be Linux platform or Windows platform or Mac platform. So Mac works on Unix, and many people will be working with Linux platform also, right? Either you are working on cloud also, there you will find out such environment as well, right? So then we'll be talking about the role of Python and R programming in this domain. So among these two languages, we'll be talking about the correlativeness, the correlativeness of both the language, also the differences between both of them with respect to machine learning domain that we have the topic to discuss upon. And then we'll discuss about the introduction of syntax of Python, and the other logics that we can build up using those syntaxes, right? Then we'll be going with the discussion of supervised, unsupervised learning. Apart from this, we'll be having one more topic in continuation with this type of machine learning learning in continuation, that will be reinforcement learning also. And then we'll be discussing the basics of Python and why Python specifically going with the machine learning. Most of the people in the world are choosing Python to go with machine learning, right? So let's start directly jumping with the machine learning topic. So let me share you my screen where I'll be talking with the PPT. Today it will be more of a theoretical session to make you understand all such terms, but and also I'll be telling you the the journey where you can understand what software, what type of library, how exactly, from where you can install the software to deal with this machine learning, right? I was hearing, I joined at 1:30 around, I guess. So that time, one sir was explaining you about the topic of machine learning correlated with the cognitive science and artificial intelligence. So this journey of machine learning, or the topic machine learning itself, take you to the journey of couple of different technology which will be available in near future. So if you'll talk about, like, if I'm sure your age would be right now near about 20, you'd be in between 18 to 22, right? So let's talk about for next 2 decades or next 3 decades till 2050, right? So we are in 2020 right now. It's not about it's not about prediction of future. It's about the predictability of our data that we have in our mind, right? So according to me, for next 3 decades that I've already passed for my life, for one decade in practical implementation and the practical professional journey of my life. In last 8 years, I was heading Techinist. Also, I had other experiences in last 2 years. So overall, 10 years of experience in this technical journey of my life. Whatever I've been through with that data that I have in mind, based on couple of technologies named as IoT, embedded systems, softwares like, or the analytical softwares like MATLAB or VLSI, right? Talk about the web development, app development, maybe server analysis, cloud computing, big data, machine learning, AI, deep learning, right? OpenCV, or maybe the computer vision with related to those things, maybe new natural language processing. So all such domains, what I've understood is that if you can correlate yourself with the problem statement, then it will be really no, I did not share the PPT as of now. I'm going to share that PPT soon, right? So just try to listen my words. If you find out difficulty in listening that, please let me know, right? Also, if you'll have some questions parallel, you can ask. I'll take those questions in between also sometime and try to answer you, right? uh, yeah, Swastika, Satvika, okay. So you need to put your camera off. It's done now. So the journey that we are going through with machine learning, we need to understand the neighbored topic, right? What are the neighbored topic of this particular machine learning as well, right? So let us understand couple of other topics which will be helping us to understand this machine learning. And I was talking about the psychological part, right? Psychological part correlated with the technology. So try to correlate the way I am going to explain. I try to explain in last 8 years to the students at different platforms. I've been training more than 80,000 student, close to even 1 lakh student in last past 8 years of time. And I've been the speaker for more than 500 platforms, including IITs, NITs, or foreign university platforms. So what I've understood, psychologically, we have difficulty in understanding everything. The first difficulty that you face is how to start something. Then you face some difficulty. Let me share you the PPT also now. Is that visible now? Is that visible now?
Yes, sir, it's
Yes,
visible.
it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this topic that I have chosen today, it's not one of the topic only that I have chosen to correlate it with the psychological part. However, this topic is quite relevant to discuss the psychological part first of all, because the image which I have chosen to display as my first slide is the neural network, right? And that neural network which works to memorize couple of your previous experiences, based on which you try to take decisions also in future. So this particular neural network is totally working in our head for couple of alterations with couple of algorithms, right? So we'll be talking about all such algorithms, we'll be talking about all such methods, we'll be talking about the entire internal structure of this brain, artificial brain, or the real brain of the human being. But apart from machine learning also, every technology that I have named, like IoT or computer vision or whatsoever, right, I've been through. So I have realized that if you can correlate the problem statement, that that problem statement can be correlated with you yourself, then it will be easy for you to understand the topic very easily. If you'll be the manager someday, if you'll be the leader for a product someday, right, so you'll be analyzing that this problem can be solved out only when you'll be realizing that you yourself are capable enough to deal with that problem. You need not to go for technical help to code that particular problem statement someday. Think that suppose you need to design that Google driverless car, like Google driverless car is there or Tesla car is there for automatic options. You need to design that. So instead of designing that car, instead of jumping to design that car, try to analyze that what if you are driving the car, what type of parameters are required. So all psychological points in your life with respect to that particular topic, that particular problem statement, if you can correlate and you can break them into small pieces, then those small pieces can be programmed later, and those will be programmed in any particular language. It does not matter whether you'll be using Python only, right? So I'll be speaking upon both the parts of psychological part of understanding the problem with respect to technical or technological part of implementation of that particular problem statement, right? So let's start with the further discussion upon these things. We'll be talking about 4 whats: fundamental of AI, how to start with them, shaping career with them, and what are the yeses and nos, right? What should we do and what should not be done by yourself, right? And I'll be taking your questions at the end. So let's start with 4 whats. These are the four whats I think people should understand by themselves. The first is, what do we know? What do we know and what do we have? The things which we know, that are quite a long list that we can have available in the mind. But what do we have? Either tangible or intangible, right? Tangible or intangible. It can be asset, it can be a data. What do we want? If we can have a clarity that this is what we want, this is what we want to solve, this is the problem, then what we should do, we must be doing that thing, right? So with respect to career, with respect to problem statement, with respect to any learning, with respect to any technical or technological part, we'll be talking about these 4 whats, right? So what do we know? Let's talk about these things, right? So these 3 graphs will be helping you to understand what exactly do we know, right? The first thing is technologies are having this graph, which means, let me explain you this graph first of all. This is like a parabola. This is like a parabola. However, it is with respect to time, it is somewhat in this curve. Think if you'll join this half, the lower half with this particular thing, it will be a kind of parabola. So you need to understand where to start with, where you are there in that particular technology. Suppose we are talking about machine learning. Machine learning is not started yet with the practical implementation on ground in such a huge success as of now, right? However, we have gone through with a few products like Google, Google Assistant or Siri or some of the robots, right, or chatbots. Some of the search engines like Google search engine or other search engines like Bing or something are quite popular. Even though some websites like Amazon or Flipkart, they're quite quite good for the development of these kind of machine learning models for as a recommendation systems for the products, right? And apart from that, you'll go through with the YouTube videos where they'll be recommending you a couple of different next videos you have to watch. So apart from all these things, on ground you don't have such a big list to talk upon, that these product are available directly in the market, right, that you can use or experience directly, right. So this is what is the harsh reality of any particular technology. So let's talk about machine learning. Let's talk about the AI, because somewhat machine learning is related to AI. Like, I'll be explaining you the complete definition. However, I'm just giving you a small idea right now. So I'll be taking you the journey, slowly about discussing upon different examples, and we'll be going ahead to discuss about the correlation of all the terms, right? And I'm sure after 5 days you'll be getting some effect in positive. And this journey could be little boring sometime. It will be quite interesting sometime based on my examples and based on your energy level to understand those things, right? So it can be good and bad both to discuss on online platform. If I could be available physically, it could be more impactful, right? So let me tell you once again that any technology that would have this a parabola basically, so that technology will rise up someday, and another technology will lead and progress from the bottom point, and will lead someday, and will keep that a previous technology aside. So we need to understand that where exactly that technology is right now. Should we start jumping or learning or implementing that particular technology now or not, right? So how can we take that decision, right? How can we take that decision? So they'll be based on these kind of graphs, right? So this is a graph of technologies. The another graph that we have is the life is this zigzag motion of up and downs, up and downs. You could be treating this example of graph as suppose your one of the exam was not good. Suppose your friendship has gone broken up. Suppose your maybe suppose you have got ill, right? All such up and downs. Maybe you have spent your money on some nonsense things, right? And those were not fruitful because of many incidences. You will be somewhere on the top, and somewhere you'll be coming down also. So this will be the graph, right? So how these three graphs will be helping us to take the relevant decision at the end, that will be going through with the next couple of slides. So the third thing is, this is your experience versus learning graph. So if you are there here at the initial point today, so what will happen, that in slowly your experience will be increasing, and your learning will be increasing parallelly with that thing. So this is what will be the graph. But this graph will be coming from you only if you'll be working in one of the dimension only, in one of the direction only. Suppose you are jumping on different technologies, you are jumping on different domains, so your total energy, total experience will be lost. So these three things that we know, right? And I'm talking about with respect to psychological part of the human being, right? And I'll try to correlate this human energy and experience, because we are talking about the data of human being that we analyze, that we get, that we process in our mind. So everything whatever we can process can be handled, can be processed, can be done, can be executed with the help of computer also, with the help of GPU or CPU also, with the help of any programming language also, right? So this is what we know about our life. This is what we know about our own, right? About our experience, right? Then what do we have? This is what we have: a limited energy. So we can be here somewhere here, because you are of 20 right now. At the age of 20, you can lead your time somewhere here, and that will be going down. I'm sure about it. So that you have the limited energy. So the maximum amount of effort that you can make is right now. You should not wait just to get the proper opportunity. No, you don't have time, right? So what you need to do is, you need to put your best effort in between the highest peak of your energy. So what could be the highest peak of your energy? According to me, it should be till 25, 26. After that, you'll be surprised to see that after 26, 25, your energy will be going low, and slowly because of that, decreasing of energy. With that experience, you cannot work faster. You cannot be so creative at that time because of your past experiences of 5 to 6 years after 20. That data will not will not leave you to take such free decisions very easily. Right now you are noble, you are virgin, then this thing will help you out to take the free decisions right now. Those could be good, those could be bad also, right? And where there'll be the decisions, if those are good, those are bad, because of those good and bad remarks, or good or bad validations, those can be helping you to do something big in future. So how should we take decisions? How should we take the proper care of our decisions with respect to the data which we have available, the energy that we have available, that we'll see in next slides, right? So this is what we know about life. What do we want? We are doing analysis upon human being, or the psychological part of the human being. So what do we want? We want this. We want this learning curve, the experience curve, the financial curve, the success curve. This is what we want. This is very clear. Everybody wants this, and this is what we used to call as used to call as the exponential curve. Someday it will be converted to exponential curve, right? So how do we achieve it? How can we achieve it? Because of this. So what should we do? After knowing all these things that we know, we do know about these three graphs, we do have this, we want this. So what should we do? We should take proper decision. The answer is, what should we do? The answer is, we should take proper decision. So how can we have proper decision? How can we take those proper decision? And what do I mean by proper? This proper word means the calculative word, right? So we should take calculative decisions. And how can we take that? What if our decisions are not right? What will happen after that? So it's all a game of machine learning, right? So how do we train ourselves? How do we train our mind with respect to all what I have, what I know, what exactly new is coming every day? How can we accommodate those new things daily that we are coming towards us, to our previous experiences? So everything will be discussed with respect to the technological shift also with in machine learning, right? So this part, what should we do? I mean, taking decision. This decision is all about AI. So AI will be taking decision. Before this, everything is based on machine learning, right? So these three informations, or these three what's, helps us to understand or train or work with the data, or work with the last experience that we had. And after all such correlations between knowing and having something or needing something, if we can develop a correlation between these three slides, then this correlation is called as algorithm. And that algorithm is nothing but a process. That algorithm is nothing but a particular formula. That particular linking or correlation will always be leading you to develop a method, right? So this correlation can be called as a method, can be called as a algorithm, can be called as a formula, right? So these three things are called as algorithms overall, right? So these three terms are related to machine learning, and if this would be good, if it would be perfect, then this final thing, I mean taking decisions, will be very, very good and very perfect at the end. right? And that I have already told about proper word, right? So properly, it will be taking, I mean, you'll be taking proper decisions because of the last learnings, right? So let us try to develop the correlation between them. Let us try to develop the algorithms to properly train ourselves so that the decisions would be right, right? So these are the 30 technologies for next decade. For next 10 years, these are the technologies which are being accepted or expected to be hitting the market. And the top of the, top of these 31 is the artificial intelligence one. So artificial intelligence or artificial intelligent machines or robots or systems will be coming, I hope, in late 30s or after a decade, right? So within this decade, what we can do, so these three things can be done. We can go on learning machine learning, we can go on learning deep learning, or apart from this there could be a third part, that is data science. So data science, machine learning and deep learning, these three words are quite helpful for us to design AI systems, right? I'll not go ahead with these 30 names. If you want to see these explanation of each one of them in detail, I have already spoken so far, and that is available on YouTube for our Techiness channel as well.